Arcade is a genre that's difficult to pin down. I could say there are games you can play at an arcade, but that definition wouldn't satisfy anyone. According to itch.io, they're simple, fast-paced games that you can play in short bursts. Let's go with it and start this video. This game has a lot of lines, so I'll just assume it's pronounced Linovictus. When it comes to visuals, this game is inspired by Asteroids. The movement is more like a standard space shooter though. It's kind of funny if you think about it. Asteroids is one of the oldest and most influential space shooters, but it plays so differently from the average one. I'm going off topic. You're supposed to fight enemies and collect edges. That's a strange name for currency. I'm guessing they're called edges because everything in this game is a simple shape. It seems to be a theme. Every level has several waves. Once you get through them all, you can go to the shop and spend your edges. You can upgrade yourself, heal, or invest money in a new ship. Fortunately, any money that you invest carries over from one run to another. You're going to need those upgrades. Even on normal difficulty, this game is pretty hard. You start with very few hit points and you can't heal during a level, only between them. Every new heal is more expensive than the last. The game accounts for you collecting more edges every level. The enemies are pretty numerous. They have all kinds of gimmicks. They can split off into smaller enemies, snipe you from across the screen, create laser walls, etc. Trying to figure out which ones to prioritize is as challenging as fighting them. Hiding in a corner is tempting, but enemies spawn at the sides. Don't stay there for too long. The yellow hexagon takes the edges you haven't collected. Do you know how hard I worked for them? It's the only enemy spaceship that doesn't attack me, but I hate it the most. I make sure to kill it first, even though I probably have bigger fish to fry. The enemies are strong, but so are the upgrades. You are really going to appreciate them after struggling through the early game. If you see a shield upgrade, grab it immediately. It takes one hit for you and it regenerates. It doesn't make you invincible, but it does make the enemies a lot more manageable. I know I whined about the difficulty, but I do find the game a lot of fun. The enemies have a lot of variety, both visually and mechanically. The arena's shape always changes. It's a subtle but effective way to make every level feel unique. The grid in the background distorts every time an enemy dies. It makes it even more satisfying. If you like space shooters or roguelikes, check out Linovictus. I only said the title twice, so I suppose it's not a big deal if I mispronounce it. The poly in Polytrack has several meanings. You will see later on. The garage is the first thing on the menu. You can design your own car. Let's give it my colors. You can also give yourself a username and select your country. This is an online game. The controls are as simple as they can be for a racing game. Up to accelerate, left and right to steer, and down to brake or go backwards. You can press R to go back to the previous checkpoint, but it won't reset the timer. Pressing T resets the whole track and the timer. I'm happy that a game like this made resetting as fast and easy as possible. Your goal is to finish the polygon as fast as you can. That's one meaning. When you're finished, you can see your time and how you measure up against everyone else. That's another meaning. On repeat runs, you can race against the ghost of your best time. It's the closest this game comes to a traditional race. You can also race the ghosts of other players. I don't have a snowball's chance in hell. The controls are not bad, but they make it easy for you to screw up. Your car's top speed is ridiculous. The turning radius is large as well. If you want to avoid hitting a wall or going off the stage, you'll have to either brake or not drive at full speed. If you do hit something, the car will fly and tumble like no tomorrow. It's very light. The car already looks like a toy. Might as well make it as light as one. A lot of tracks require you to drive on walls or through loop-de-loops. It can get disorienting. Don't expect to get a good time immediately. You'll need a few runs to familiarize yourself with the track. The tracks are short and the resets are quick, so it's easy to try over and over without getting bored. There are only 17 official tracks. They don't really serve as a full game, just as an introduction. The community tracks are more plentiful. You can try out other players' creations. As you can see, the graphics are pretty simple. The sky has the most detail. When it comes to visuals, the fan-made tracks have more going on, but you can still see all the polygons. That's the third meaning. Your imagination will have to fill in a lot of gaps. The graphics remind me of the racing games that I played when I was a kid. Everything looks big, which makes it even easier to put myself in that mindset. Add in the toy-like car and you have the perfect recipe for nostalgia overload. Even if you are too young to feel nostalgia, you should still take Polytrack for a spin. Beating my records shouldn't be too hard. It's a good thing the game says the title, or I'd have no idea how to pronounce it. You play as an army of butternuts. It's what the description calls them. The only controls are left click to jump. The rightmost butternut reacts immediately and the ones behind it have a delay. I guess the point is to make all of them jump over a pit or a trap, but it doesn't work that well. A lot of butternuts in the back are going to die. Fortunately, you can make more of them by attacking humans. It's the same shtick as zombies. The humans just stay in place, they don't even run away. This is the first piece of media where the zombies are smarter than the humans. The butternuts stay in place when they attack. If they take too long to finish an enemy off, the autoscroll will leave them behind. If an object has an outline, the zombies will attack it, but if it doesn't, they'll walk through it. That's a pretty handy indicator. Most humans are completely defenseless, but some of them have guns. You'll have to either outmaneuver them or overwhelm them with sheer numbers. As you play, you'll quickly gain and lose bodies. This game is the embodiment of the phrase easy come, easy go. When all the butternuts are taken out, the run is over. If you have enough points, you can buy an upgrade. One of your stats will increase and a new butternut with a unique design will join you from the start. Defeated humans can turn into that kind of butternut. As you keep buying upgrades, the horde will become more diverse. The upgrades are not very expensive or numerous. Even if you play badly, you can still get them all quickly. This is not an endless runner. You can always see how close you are to the goal. It won't take you too long to reach it. The game lasts long enough to entertain you, but not so long that it overstays its welcome. I like the different designs of the butternuts. They're not just generic jack-o'-lanterns. I also like how they walk. This is the cutest zombie apocalypse that I've ever seen. The background keeps changing as you advance through the game. Despite its simplicity, the world is pretty immersive. If you like games where you control a group of entities, this is the one for you. Have fun watching your army grow. Glowing eyes in the dark. It might be a cliché, but I love it every time I see it. You're playing as a girl stuck in the woods. You need to survive a monster attack for 10 minutes. Monsters drop experience points when you kill them. If you collect enough, you can choose an upgrade. In most shooters with unlimited ammo, I would just hold the firing button, even if reloading takes time. In this game, you are slower when you are firing your gun. You need to be smarter. When the enemies are too numerous, it's better to stop shooting and distance yourself. Guns in real life have a lot of recoil, so maybe that's the in-universe reason. The protagonist can't brace for it and run at the same time. Even when she's not shooting, she's kind of slow. Despite the size of the arena, you can't just run away for 10 minutes. You have to fight. Fortunately, the upgrades are pretty useful. You can directly make yourself faster or stronger, but you can also give yourself new weapons and abilities. You can summon allies, burn or freeze enemies, give yourself a spread shot, etc. It didn't feel too bad whenever I lost. I got to start over and try different upgrades. Between the runs, you can spend points on new characters and weapons. They all have their own stats and special powers. Upgrades have different synergies with characters, weapons, and one another. Choose them wisely, especially later on when leveling up takes more XP. Because this is only a demo, you don't have access to everything, but it's still a good selection. I like this game's atmosphere. It's an arcade shoot-em-up, but there is some horror DNA. You walk slowly and the monsters are numerous. It can feel like there's no escape. You have very few hit points and it's difficult to recover them. You really don't want to get hit. Aside from the light around you, everything is dark. Until they get close enough, you can only see the monster's eyes. I'm glad the EXP is visible though. Looking for it in the dark would have been a nightmare. The color palette is very limited. It's hard to tell colors apart in the dark. Green is my favorite color, but this is not the soothing or lively kind of green. It's spooky green. Red is used pretty sparingly. If something is important, it's going to have red on it. The protagonist, the user interface, boss monsters, etc. 10 Minutes Till Dawn succeeds at both fun and horror. If something like that sounds interesting, give it a try. That was fun. Arcade games are more enjoyable when you don't have to spend money every time you want to play. I'm not asking you to spend any money, but suggestions for future videos would be nice. Thank you for watching. I hope I brightened your day.